Right, worksheet number 2, make sure you're using your clipboard correctly. Okay, so you'll notice that we always use our rulers up against the edge of the clipboard so that our lines are perfectly straight. You're going to start off by labeling your X, Y, X1, Y1 axis. You're going to take your 45-degree set square, and in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to draw a 45-degree line. That 45-degree line helps us with our side view. I'm going to write here front view, top view, and this is your left view, just to remind you. And we are going to redraw this arrangement of blocks in our top view. So if you read the question, it says, shown is the top view of an arrangement of Diekmann blocks. Draw the front view, top view, and left views of this arrangement on the given axes. Draw the isometric view of this arrangement starting at point C. So the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to plan our drawing. I want you to leave a gap between your X and Y axis. Let me just make sure this is straight. Okay, so we're going to leave a 1 centimeter gap there. Gently pull your line across. And we're doing this just to make our drawing nice and neat. And I can now start my Diekmann block. So I'm going to leave a 1 centimeter gap there. Remember that I like to work in millimeters, so we're going to go 10 millimeters, 20 millimeters. So we're going, and that is the start of our block, the top view of our block. I'm then going to lean my set square on the edge of the clipboard, and I'm going to lightly pull those lines up. And I'm going to measure 10 millimeters down, 10 millimeters down. It has to be as accurate as you can. And then we can draw in our block in dark. Depending on the number that appears in your block, so over here we've got block number 2, in front of that we've got block number 1, we've got block number 4, and in front of that we've got block number 3. Now if we are standing in front of this and we are looking at this arrangement of blocks, the first block I'm going to see is block number 1, so I can take my ruler and I can work out and go 10 millimeters up, and I can draw block number 1. Behind block number 1, we can see block number 2. We know that block number 2 is taller than block number 1, so we can simply go and take our ruler. And we know that block 2 is going to be 2 centimeters up. And I'm going to draw my line across. Remember, it is like running 100 meters. These blocks are always in the same lane. So in this lane over here, we've got block number 3 in the front, 4 at the back. So I go and I measure 1, 2, 3, And while you're there, you can also measure 4 at the back. So I'm going to start off by drawing 4, and then I can just draw in 3. And that is your front view. While you're going along, you can just neaten up any lines that are a little bit too dark. And now I can proceed to project my left view. The left view, looking at it from the left-hand side. So I'm going to take my pencil, and remember that you have to try and be as accurate as possible. Your lines have to be perfectly straight. So you're leaning your ruler on your clipboard, making sure that all of these lines are as straight as you can get them. Right, so in this lane over here, we've got block number 2. Behind that, we've got block number 4. In this lane over here, we've got block number 1 and block number 3. If you're confident, you can go ahead and go 1, 2. There's my measurement for block number 2. Behind that, we've got block number 4. The other way of doing it is to project the blocks that you have in your front view and just take those measurements across. Just remember to take the right heights across. So there we've got block 2. Then in this lane here, I know that I'm going to find 1 in the front. And behind that, I've got block number 3. Moving on to the isometric, you're going to use your 30-degree set square, and you're going to set up a grid. If we have a look at C is our lowest corner, so it's as if we're sitting here and we're looking at corner number 1, corner 2 is on the right, and block number 2 is on the left, and block number 3 is on the right. And if you work accurately, your drawing will line up nicely. Right, so I start off by just drawing those 4 blocks. So I'm going to go 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. And that will give me those gaps. Once you've drawn that, I can see that this over here is where block number 1 goes. So I proceed to draw block number 1 in this position using those centimeter spacings. Now if you look at block number 1 is sitting next to block number 2. So next to block number 2, I'm going to go 1 across, and I know that I'm going to have to go up 1, up 2. I've already gone up 1, so now I just need to go up 1 more. in order to complete block number 2. You'll get a mark for putting that number in the block as well, so make sure you don't forget. If you've drawn it accurately, you'll see that all of these corners will line up, and you may need to measure some more blocks. We've already gone up 2, so I'm going to go up another 1, 2 more times. Next to block number 1 on the right, we've got block number 3. So I'm going to go across 1 and up 1, 2, 3.